Deep under Brazil, there are tunnels that should not exist. They are not mines, and they were not carved by humans, but across their ceilings and walls are deep, jagged grooves, left by claws bigger than knives. Inside, the tunnel stretches into darkness. For decades, people thought these were strange caves, but caves are shaped by water. These look like they were carved by muscle. The real clue is above your head. Long parallel scratches, repeated again and again, not random cracks, not erosion. They look like the marks of an animal digging forward, one brutal scrape at a time. The builders were not people, they were Ice Age giants, massive ground sloths, giant armadillos, and their armored relatives once roamed South America. Some had claws built for tearing into earth, roots, and rock-softened soil. Forget the tiny tree sloths we know today. These ancient sloths were ground-dwelling giants. Heavy bodies, huge curved claws. When they stood upright, they could reach higher than a human. But their strangest legacy was not their bones. It was the underground world they left behind. The answer may be survival. The tunnel could protect them from heat, storms, predators, and changing Ice Age conditions. For a slow-moving giant, a burrow could mean safety. There were no blueprints, no tools, no fire, just instinct, claws, and time. But some tunnels are so large, one animal probably did not finish them alone. They may have been reused, extended, and reshaped over generations. A shelter becomes a passage becomes a network, and thousands of years later, it becomes a mystery. Some paleoburrows run for hundreds of meters. Imagine crawling into darkness, then realizing this was not a cave, it was a prehistoric animal's home, a home carved by a creature that vanished thousands of years ago. Scientists study the tunnel shape, the scratch marks, the height, the width, and the geology around it. Natural caves usually follow cracks, water paths, or soft layers of rock. These tunnels often look too rounded, too deliberate, too animal-made. Above the tunnels, Brazil looks ordinary. Hills, forests, farms, roads. But beneath that calm surface is evidence of a lost ecosystem, a world where giant mammals did not just live on the land, they changed the land. Back then, South America was not the world we see today. It was a continent of giants, saber-toothed predators, armored grazers, huge herbivores, and among them the ground sloths moved slowly but powerfully, carrying claws that could carve history into stone. A fossil bone tells us what an animal looked like, but a tunnel tells us what it did. It shows behavior, movement, strength, survival. These paleoburrows are not just holes in the ground, they are fossilized actions. Imagine being the first researcher to shine a light across that ceiling. The beam catches the grooves, one line, then 10, then hundreds, and suddenly the cave is no longer silent. It becomes a record of an animal fighting its way through the earth. Then the giants vanished, climate changed, habitats shifted, humans spread deeper into the Americas. The exact causes are still debated, but the result was final. The animals disappeared, while their tunnels remained. Today, many of these tunnels are found by accident. A hillside collapses. A farmer notices a strange opening. A road cut exposes a dark passage, and suddenly modern people are standing at the doorway of an Ice Age shelter. That is what makes these tunnels so powerful. They prove the ancient world is not completely gone. Sometimes it is hidden under our feet, waiting in silence, holding the marks of creatures that once reshaped the earth with nothing but claws. So the next time you see a quiet hill, remember this. Beneath it may be a tunnel older than civilization, carved by a beast we will never see alive, but whose claws still speak from the stone. Brazil's paleoburrows are not just caves, they are the underground fingerprints of giants. And the strangest part? Scientists are still finding them, meaning the full map of this underground Ice Age world may not be finished yet. The giants are gone, but their tunnels remain, and every claw mark is a message from a world buried in time.